Hi, beautiful Cancer. Welcome to New Era. My name is Emma. Cancer, I wanted to do something a little bit different for you here today. I asked where I could be of like the greatest service, and something that came to me was, where are you on your ascension process? And another way of describing the ascension process is love. Where are you towards becoming more vibrating in love? Which means we're getting higher and higher up in the frequencies, and we're leaving the lower realms a little bit more behind, if that makes sense. More and more coming into love. That is your ascension. So let's see where you're at on this journey, and maybe something helpful, something informational, inspirational can come out here for you. So Cancer, this is for mid-May until mid-June of 2022 for your ascension process. We're starting with 3 cards initially here, and we're just going to go deeper and deeper into this energy. And if you're interested, at the end of this reading, if you resonate with it, there's going to be an extension. You're so welcome there. First card out. 5 of Spring. Opposing goals arising from different opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, overly ambitious people. Overly ambitious people. Are you dealing with overly ambitious people? It's a little bit of a tug of war. Dragkamp in Swedish. 5 of Spring. Let's see what that is about. Och lupiner. Beautiful flowers there in the back. Second and third card, please. There you go. Took a little bit of time. Ooh, Gemini had this one as well. A financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter or of your cause. King of Spring. And there's 2 red borders. So it's a lot about like grounding, foundation, core, family, home, finances. And the third card is red, and it's Ace. So there's so much about roots, foundation, family, where you belong. Finding that connection, like the connection between Mother Earth and the universe, like feeling like you're just sort of almost like a vessel in between. Your ascension process primarily, I would say, is about finding that core right now and feeling at home with yourself. Look at this. 5 of Spring, King of Spring, and Ace of Spring. Red, red, red. Everywhere. And what I'm seeing here is that we're coming from difficulty. We're coming from some sort of struggle, some sort of conflict, some sort of back and forth between 2 people or between 2 companies, between 2 parties. Like, this is for you, Cancer. This is you. You have been in some sort of tug of war. There's been a fight with someone, and this probably is more towards the past. I see a blue butterfly there. And it's interesting because I see the blue butterfly is sort of waiting in the wings. Now when I'm starting to talk about it, I see butterflies everywhere. So it's interesting because this one, no, where am I? Here. This one on the bottom is the only one that I saw at first. And when I saw it, all these other butterflies started to appear. It's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 blue butterflies, and not until I saw the one on the bottom that is like on hold a little bit. So there's like, we've been waiting for a long. It just tells me that you've been in a conflict or in a struggle, in a fight for a long time. There might be some dragging out situation, whether you've been in a relationship or in a situation like with a company, in a job, in a health situation where it feels like, okay, so the struggle is here and the struggle is real, and or the fight or the conflict or whatever, and we know about it, but it hasn't come to an end quickly. It's something that has been dragged out, and this transformational phase has been a long phase. It's been, so if you've been in a relationship, there's been a fight with your loved one for a long time. There's been a dragged out conflict for a long time. Doesn't mean that you've been fighting every single day, probably not, but there's an ongoing conflict. If you're already separated from someone, it could be like you're fighting over custody, or you're fighting over who gets the house, or you're fighting over, or you're just fighting. And this fight just never ends. It's a dragged out situation. If you're in a company and there's a company war somehow, some way between boss and employee, whatever situation this is for you, if there's a health situation you're in, there's a chronic thing that is going on, and you're like, I know about it, it's here, it's a dragged out, like, difficult situation to be in. And it's like the transformation has been waiting. So I would say, yes, when you're in those situations, you still learn. It hasn't been for nothing. It hasn't been wasted. It hasn't been just bad, you know, because sometimes we look back and or even being in a situation, we think it's just bad. This doesn't have to happen. This doesn't have to be, like, it takes up so much of your time and your space and your overall life, you know, but it makes you grow. It makes you grow, and it makes you become more, and because it makes you understand truly who you are on a really really deep level of yourself. So there's been some sort of conflict here. However, it has transformed. Once we start to see this butterfly, once I started to see it, once I started to see the transformation happen, transformation everywhere. Like, it's almost like we just may have to get the ball rolling, and once it does, the momentum picks up speed. And before it does, it's like a holding pattern. It's a holding place where sort of nothing really moves. It's the same story over and over and over again. And then once we get the ball rolling, it's just transformation everywhere. And so we're coming into this King of Spring. I love how all of this is spring. So it's a feeling of, okay, I can't say that. Well, I'm going to say it because it came, but I don't want to take anything away from you. Whatever hardship you've been through, Cancer, you know that yourself. Like, don't let anyone, including myself, tell you how easy or how hard this has been. I just want to say you were never at risk. Does that make any sense? How hard it got, how bad it got, how ugly it got in a situation for you, you were never at risk. Like, you had always, your angels has been with you. Like, the hand of God has on occasions just come in and plucked you out of a situation. And like, so I'm not here to say that, oh, this was an easy stroll in the park, like, because this is how you walk in the park. I'm not saying that, but it's like spring. It's like, it was never winter. You were never at risk. You were never going to die, or you were never going to be taken off this earth. It was just a deepening of the understanding of your own species, of yourself. But now, when we have transformed, it's almost like you have become the butterfly, where it says, a financial windfall, your leadership skills are needed now, an unexpected supporter of your cause. So it feels like where you probably felt like you were all on your own. And just remember that this is the ascension process. We're going to be through some crappy situations where we just, in the moment, just don't understand why the heck we're there, perhaps. Or maybe you have even come to the level of understanding that you even understand in the midst of the crappy stuff why you're there. But like, when we're put in these situations, is to find that version of ourself that is enlightened. That is the ascension process. To just, and if you struggle to move, if you struggle to let go of any like lower level vibrations, if you struggle to, which is worry, fear, anger, indifference, not feeling a purpose whatsoever, like waking up and like not understanding why the heck you're here. And if you sort of have become so accustomed to it and so used to, it's not comfortable, but it's such a comfort zone because it's all you know, then you might need a little push. Because you're asking for easier life, easier path, just easier. It shouldn't be this hard, and it shouldn't. And sometimes to get like snap out of it, like to get into a different vibration, we sometimes need to get into a situation. And from the looks of it, you have been, what I would say in Swedish, been very seg. I don't know really how to translate that. Like you've been, I don't want to, like stubborn isn't the thing. Seg. That's actually one of those times when Swedish vocabulary is actually better than the English one. I think often it's vice versa. But like, okay, you've seen, so let's say use a relationship. It might not be a relationship for you. It might be a health situation. So do whatever situation you are in and take it to what I'm saying. Like this might be a situation where, okay, so you're in a relationship and you see tendencies of the other person. The other person is showing you tendencies of something is up here. Something is not good. Something is a little bit toxic. Something is questionable. But you keep moving forward because you think that it's solvable. You think that, that was just something, you know. And so it's almost like even though you have the facts, like you're sitting with the facts right in front of you and you're reading the facts, it's almost like you said, I'll buy the book. I buy the book with all the facts. It's like, well, did you read what the book was about? Yeah. So even though you knew what it was about, even though you saw tendencies, even though you sort of had the facts, you went for it anyway. That's ascension. Would you agree? Would you agree that on some level you knew going into this company, going into this situation, saying yes to this thing, being in this relationship, you knew on some level that this is not what love is. This is not the love vibration, but it sure as heck will have you transform into the love vibration. You will be kicked off as a catalyst situation into a place where you will now become more loving, more understanding, more empathetic. You will open up those places inside of yourself. Does that make sense? And this is someone like now there's a financial windfall. So perhaps this situation, because sadly it's, I mean, there's some people that can just sort of have the money just keeps coming in. The money just keeps coming in because they have such a clear channel to money. Their relationship with money has never been in question. So they can have like a war when it comes to relationships, and they still have a good relationship with money. So the money just keeps coming in. For the general norm, it's like when one thing goes really south, the rest follows. And so probably in the situation that you've been in, it has also resulted in you not having too much money. Or you needed to give a lot of money away to someone, or it just kept chipping away on your finances and you feeling really stable. Red, everywhere. That's what it is. You've been laying a strong foundation. It doesn't seem like it because it seems like those things are being taken. Family has been taken away from you. Finances has been taken away from you. The stability has been taken away from you. But what is that? All of those is red. All of those is the base, is your root chakra. All of it. And so what happens when money is taken away from you? You ask for more. And what happens when family turns against you? Family members, lovers, your immediate family, really, really close friends. What happens when you're feeling cheated on? When you're feeling deprived of your own family? Like those, there are supposed to be your people. You ask for that stability. You ask for understanding. You ask for love. You ask for stability. Red, red, red. It's like you just laid the most beautiful. It doesn't feel like it in the instance of the situation. It doesn't feel like it at all. But you just laid the most beautiful foundation for yourself in terms of money and home and stability and family. And now, like, you need to stand your ground. Now, it says your leadership skills are needed. You're standing firm in what you now have come to understand. You're standing firm in what you now know. You're moving away from the past and you're standing firm in what you now know. And slowly, as you start to treat yourself better and as you start to say no to the lower level vibrations, we're going into a higher place right now. Those lower level creatures, those lower level situations, if they're not ascending as well, if they're not doing their job at ascending as well, they're gonna peter themselves out of your reality. You don't even have to ask them. They're just gonna slowly disappear. Where do they go? Don't ask for it. Don't look for them. Don't invite them back. Where did you go? Person of mine that I don't like. Don't invite them back in. Stay your ground in this newfound place, in this newfound vibration. And what you will see is that now new people will start to come in that is helpful, that is fitting the bill, literally. It's interesting with the play on words there. We're petering something out. We peter out and we bill in. So Peter and Bill might have some significance here today. Into Ace of Spring, and I love this image. Do you see all those butterflies there? They're swirling around. This transformation is swirling around. It's time to take action. Be fearless and happily pursue your most treasured dreams. Amazing career opportunities. So this is a moment, you might recognize yourself somewhere on this path. And the majority of you probably is right here. You might be in whatever comes in the extension as well. But the majority probably of you is right here. And you're in this new phase, in this new beginning, swirling. You have a dream. You were supposed to do so many other things than getting stuck in this first place. To become free and become who you truly are. And now it's okay, so we're letting whatever sort of was missing in the fight, in the struggle, in the dragged out situation, whatever was missing there is now falling into place. And Ace is a new energy, new beginning. It can be about messages coming in as well. New messages, like you're getting an answer, you're getting the call from someone that you've been waiting on to hear that call from. I'm going to take this into the extension and see what else I can find for you. Red, red, red. There's a lot of core root chakra energy that is in the works right now. Really, really beautiful energy. So if you're interested in getting more deeper, if you resonate with this reading, you're so welcome to the extension. There's 2 ways of getting there. So read about it in the description box down below. Press the little arrow and it falls down a curtain where you can read all about it. And if not, thank you so much for watching. Subscribing and liking to this channel and to this video if you liked it would be really, really helpful. Thank you so much, guys.